Dad, I'm heading out now.
Oh, hey Piper, you're already heading out of the house now? I feel like it's a bit early for that.
Well, I'm already at the bus stop actually, and we'll be taking that over to the party.
Wait, so that means you've already made it about a mile away from here?
Come on now, Dad. Don't tell me that you forgot what time the party is supposed to be at today.
What? I thought there was still a few hours until then. Oh, right. The party is going to be happening really soon here. You've been really looking forward to David's going away party, haven't ya?
I sure have been, considering he's my favorite manager and all. And thankfully, he chose to have his party on a Saturday like today, so that the rest of us could come make it out to see him and not have to work during the party. And considering he's been like family and everything to me and did so much for me while we were both working in the company, I have to be there to tell him how much I appreciated all of that.
I'm sure you do.
Is there anything you'd like me to say to David for you tonight? I'm sure he'd love to hear what you'd have to say.
Let me think about that. Well, I'll be seeing him before he takes off myself, so when the time comes, I'll let him know what I have to say, instead of making my own daughter do that for me. I guess I'd like to tell him how happy I am to hear that he took such great care of you.
I knew you'd say that. Well, I won't tell him too much from you tonight, besides that you say hi.
All right, thank you. And I'll talk with him some more later on, maybe when he starts to get himself accustomed to my side of the corporate world.
All right, well, I'm getting on the bus now, Dad.
Have a good night, and get home safe later tonight, please.
Piper? Where are you at right now? Oh, hey, Kylie. I'm just getting on the bus right now to head out to the party. Did you need me to grab anything on my way there? You're getting on the bus to come out to the party? Why? Because I was told that the place that Dad would be having his going away party at would be the bar on the other side of town. And since it's going to be starting soon, I need to get heading over there right about now. Well, that's too bad for you then. The going away party is already done with. What? I told you the wrong time and the wrong place for his party. And starting now, David and I will be heading out on a date with one another. It feels so good to be taking him away from you. Turns out I'm coming home now.
What?
I got on the bus, but then got back off of it before it took off.
What's happened to you? It's only been 5 minutes since you were last texting me, and now you're already wanting to come home? Did someone say something to you?
The time and place of that party were both lies.
They were lies?
Seems that the party's already done with now.
Huh?
I gave the bar a call about it too to make sure I wasn't being pranked, and the staff on the other end of the line told me that there were no reserved parties there today. So I was indeed lied to.
I'm having a bit of a hard time understanding why you were lied to, though. What's going on there?
Well, listen. The one in charge of the party happens to be the daughter of the CEO, right?
You're talking about Kylie, right?
That's her. Well, it sounds like Kylie has been in love with David for a while now. She would always talk with me about him during our breaks and such, and for some reason she's come to think of me as a rival of hers when it comes to loving David.
Don't tell me! Was this an act of her picking on you over that, then?
Yeah, I think so. She went ahead and used the going away party as a chance to try to hurt me.
She got such a bad idea of you for no reason at all that she's now advanced to hurting you over it? I wonder if there's anyone else around that's starting to question any of what she's done to you yet or not.
Not that I'm aware of. And from what I've been told by others about her is that she loves to use her dad's position to her own benefit. Everyone in the company knows that if they ever go against her and what she says, she'll go complain to her dad about them and have them fired.
I see. That itself seems like a really bad problem for a company to have, but right now I'm a little bit interested in something else. I wonder if David himself has ever noticed anything about her and the way she acts.
What?
Well, with you and him having been so close all the time, I'm sure he wanted you to be at his going-away party, right? So if you never ended up showing up to that party, he must be a bit concerned and wanting to know why you weren't there, you know? Unless he never was trying to be that close to you, and this was all a part of his plan as well. But why would he ever risk that with you when he has a close relationship to someone like myself as well? At a time like this where he's leaving the company, is it really worth it for him to be causing such drama between us?
That's also a good way of thinking about it. I wonder what happened with David then for him to have let this happen.
I think that Kylie may have played a major part in his reaction to you not being there as well. Would you like me to give him a call or text and see what's been going on his end?
That's a good idea. I think you would be much better at figuring this all out instead of me.
All right, give me a little bit of time to talk with him. Piper, I just got off the phone with David.
How did things go between the two of you?
Well, let's start with the going-away party for him. Apparently it's still happening, and it's at the bar that you were told to go to before.
Wait, are you kidding me?
And it doesn't seem that David can be blamed for any of what happened. When I called him, the first thing he asked me was about how my daughter was doing and if there was anything he could do to help.
He was asking about how I was doing? Like I'm sick?
Well, he was told that you weren't able to make it out today because you weren't feeling too good. And then he was told by none other than Kylie not to call or text you because you'd need to go to the hospital, most likely.
What the heck?
After I told him what had really happened to you, he went and had a very loud conversation with Kylie about what the heck was going on there. And well, it sounds like the person who runs that bar is one of Kylie's close friends. So she had told her friend to tell anyone that called the bar asking about what reservations there were to say that none had been made for the night.
So she at the store lying to me as well.
After he'd asked her about that and she gave him that as an answer, I could hear a lot of sound going on in the background, and then I was no longer able to talk with David. I tried to give him another call, thinking that maybe the reception was bad there, but he never picked up the second time.
What? So something really bad must be going on over there then, right?
For the time being, you're better off staying away from that party and not getting involved in whatever it might be.
Excuse me, Piper! What the hell do you think you're doing right now? God damn it! Who the hell do you think you are, getting your dad involved in something that has literally nothing to do with him? Do you have some kind of a father complex going on? This love battle is supposed to be between you, me, and David. Kylie, what kind of a joke are you trying to speak about, calling this a love battle? I'm saying that because you're in love with David as well, right? But here's the thing. I've told you so many times before now that I'm not in love with David. I told you that he's a family friend of mine and that's how I became so close to him, but nothing about that is because I love him. Then what the hell is it? What is it? Well, it's... You're not able to tell what it is going on between the two of you? No, not that. I mean, he only has a week left before he leaves the company, so I guess I can go ahead and say this to someone like you. What are you talking about? David happens to be my older sister's fiancé. What? Her and David have been going out with one another since high school. You're lying. Then you and him always talking at work was because he'll be marrying my older sister soon, and that makes him like an older brother to me. And recently, he and I have been talking to one another a lot because my sister's birthday is coming soon. And we've been thinking of some ideas for presents. Is there any indication of him breaking up with your sister? They both just started to pay for a new house together and have been living in that house for a little under a month now. Huh? They're both planning to hand in their marriage forms on their anniversary. So that's the only reason they haven't already gotten married yet this year. I see. Dad, are you able to talk for a second?
What's going on now? Aren't you supposed to be working again right now?
I just had one thing I wanted to talk with you about really quick before I get back to work. So don't worry about that.
Does it have to do with,
That's right. I'm sure you're going to be hearing from David himself later this afternoon or tonight about that. But Kylie, she's still not giving up on David and seems to be getting more aggressive with her actions now.
Even though she was already told that he's engaged to your sister, right?
For a little bit, she seemed really shocked by the news of that, but it seems that all the information has gone out the other ear now. She called David into the meeting room on our floor and then there gave David an earful before letting him leave. She said that if he doesn't dump my sister right now and start dating her, then she'd use her dad to make it impossible for him to find another job ever again. So she's threatening David now.
She must be forcing herself to be that arrogant. Has the CEO said anything about all of this yet?
I'm going to assume that if he doesn't do as Kylie said, she's going to have her dad call him up to the CEO's office next. And there he'll find out just what kind of hell awaits him after he leaves this company.
Dicey. Piper, how about you leave me in charge of crushing both Kylie and her father?
What?
I'd like you to get to work on handing them your 2 weeks as soon as you can for me. I know that this was always the plan down the road for those two and that company, but we need to take action now in order to keep those who don't deserve to be hurt out of this mess. All right?
I understand. I will go and have a word with David about this as well, but I'm sure he'll be fine with it. Piper, I heard that you went and handed in your 2 weeks today. That's right. And what do you care about me leaving the company now? When are you planning to leave? Well, in 2 weeks would be what most people would expect. My, oh my. You're making it look as though you've already lost me and will no longer be able to fight on anymore crying like you are right now. You're making the right choice through leaving my dad's company with your tail between your legs. Because if you were to have kept it up with your sassy attitude, I would have made sure you had hell to pay for it. Now, all I have to do now is get David to fall into my arms and everything will be perfect for me. Excuse me, Piper, what the hell is going on here? I never heard anything about all of this crap. What's going on, Kylie? I'm no longer working with you anymore, so what could you want with me anymore? Stop trying to play dumb with me right now. What the hell is this about your dad being the CEO of this company's biggest customer, Company A? And David was taken away from this company by your dad's company after he offered him a better salary and benefits. Today was my first time ever hearing about all that crap. And what does it matter to you that my dad is the CEO of Company A? What? Considering that all you ever cared about was using your dad's position as the CEO to take control over the whole company so that they'd do your bidding, I never said anything about my dad. And when it comes to David being hired by my dad, is it really something that you should be concerned about right now? When you still have work you need to be doing at your dad's company? Huh? What the hell? I'm sure that you know nothing about this then, do you? The reason I'm still thinking about him is because he's in love with me, and I know it. It's only a matter of time before David leaves your older sister in the dust and comes running to me. Go ahead and tell your sister this right now for me, please. Sucks to suck having your fiancé stolen by me. I thought I already told you about how they would be handing in their marriage papers at the courthouse on their anniversary date. Well, that anniversary was yesterday. Huh? I was told last night that those two had gotten married and are now husband and wife. You're lying! With all of that being said now, if you continue to cause trouble for my sister and my brother-in-law, there will be some very harsh legal repercussions you'll be met with. Right now, taking your mind off of him would be your best interest. No way. How could a man leave a daughter of a CEO like that? You say that, but my older sister is also the daughter of a CEO. You have to be kidding me. Jesus, what the actual hell is going on now? Did I really do so much to you that it warrants all of this? I never ever did, right? Because of you, my mom went and handed in her divorce papers and left us. Okay. Could you please stop it with all the goddamn calling? What the hell do you want this time? I was just told that from next year, all of the contracts your dad has with my company will be terminated. That means 80% of my dad's company profits will drop because of you. Why the hell are you guys able to do that to us? Could you please whine about all of that to someone who is actually related to the topic? You're the daughter of Company A's CEO, though. You do something about all of this right now. You tell your dad to cancel whatever the hell he's thinking of doing with those contracts right now. How about you go and tell that to someone involved with Company A then? And you are the daughter of Company A's CEO. And you think that just because I'm his daughter, I have any right saying things to him about how he runs his company and what he does with his contracts? Huh? You should be more than capable of doing that, right? In my case, I can tell my dad whatever I want and he'll listen to me. For example, I can ask him to lower the salary of those who I find to be too mouthy towards me. And I can ask my dad to raise the salary and promote the positions of those I like and want to make happy. And when it comes to those that I don't like at all, I can ask my dad to have them fired and removed from my site. All of those things have happened before, and I can make them happen again. Does that mean Company B? That's right, that was all my doing. When I went there to deal with the man at the front desk, he was so ugly it pissed me off. With a reason like that, you had him fired? You see, as the daughter of the CEO, you have every right to say what you want to your dad and have him listen to you. Well, what you've been doing is all highly illegal. What? I think that the CEO of Company A, my dad, made the right choice cutting you guys out of the picture. Wait, what? You're going to talk with him about continuing those contracts with us, right? I just told you about all the things I'd done before to make sure that the company went my way, and you can do the same with your dad now as well, all right? Let me give you a reason for why I'm going to say no to what you're asking me still, and make it easier for you to understand. The reason I went and left your dad's company wasn't to go and work for my dad. It was to go and help with my fiancé's family's company. What? I'm not sure why you'd have to be surprised by that, but I have nothing to do with my dad's company, which means that I'm not allowed to say anything to him about what he should be doing. And you've had a man of your own this whole time? Do you remember Ryan? He left the company 2 years ago after working in the sales department for several years. Ryan? That's the bastard that turned me down when I asked him out. I would never forget about his ass. His ass was fired because I told my dad to take care of someone who wouldn't go out with the daughter of the CEO. I also made sure that my dad would make it impossible for him to find another job as well, so he must be nothing more than a shut-in now, right? I'm glad to hear that he's your fiancé now. Wrong. He was never fired, as he had already planned to leave that company before that. Huh? He was taking over his family's cafe, and so for that reason, he planned on leaving the company. And as for me, I've chosen to do the exact same thing, since when I marry him soon, we'll be working together at his cafe. What? So you and him have been going out for that long? Yes. After he had told me about his plan to leave the company 2 years ago, he asked me to go on a date with him, and I said okay. What the hell? Now, let's get back to the main topic here. If you're wanting to talk about the contracts being ended by Company A, please go and talk with someone who is connected to all of that conversation. Continuing to talk with me won't get you anywhere and will only make you look like more of a loser than you already are. And actually, you talking to a stranger about your dad's company's private matters like that is making you look even worse as an employee. No, wait, I never meant to do that. Therefore, we can be done here, right? What? I'm about to get on a plane now and head out to my sister's wedding overseas. They're having their wedding overseas? Hold on a second. Putting my phone into airplane mode right now. Goodbye. What the actual hell? Why are all the good men going to other women and not me? I was supposed to be with David and everything was supposed to go my way after he was made the new executive director and everything. You'd better hope that I never find out where you live someday, or else I'm going to make you pay for what you've taken from me.
After having confirmed that my company would no longer be doing business after the end of the year and that we'd be cutting back on any sales until then, Kylie's father's company started to go downhill. The company already had a soured image in the eyes of other customers, so after we had announced the plan to leave, a lot of other companies followed suit. Any of the employees there that could tell what outcome was coming for the company began to hand in their 2-week notices and started looking for new jobs. There've been plenty of employees from there that I've begun taking on as well, and a lot of them have told me a good amount of details about what was going on within the company walls during its final hours. Things like Kylie completely losing her mind and asking any man that was still working for her father to go out with her. And at one point even forcing a man to touch her breasts, saying that they should feel nice enough for him to become her husband. She would also ask that her father fire all of the women in the office to increase her chances of getting all the remaining men to go for her. But that ended up further hampering the company's abilities. Most of the men would leave the company as soon as that happened, and a lot of them have now come to work for me in departments ranging from sales to IT. In no time, there was not enough employees in that company to allow it to work properly, and before Kylie's father could do anything about it, the company was closing its doors. I hear that the CEO not only took on a lot of debt after his company went bankrupt, but that he'd also lost his wife and his family. He'll also have to face multiple court cases that have been made against him for wrongful dismissals and things like that at his company. But who knows if he'll even show up for any of them. I'm not really sure what his plans are going to be now, but from what other people have told me who are closer to him, his plan is to take whatever money he has left and go gamble it all away in the hopes that he can make it out big. As for my daughter Piper and her fiance, they both got married about a month after my older daughter did. And she moved out of my house to go and live with her husband. I guess Piper really started to get all antsy after seeing her sister at that wedding and wanted to do the same thing as well. So both her and her husband had their wedding outside the U.S. in the Bahamas. They've both been working together to run his family's cafe ever since the both of his parents retired, and they're planning to open a second location when they have the time to. One day when Piper was helping close up her husband's cafe, she heard from one of her employees that there was a woman out behind the place going through their garbage, and it was Kylie. When Piper went out there to confront her, Kylie ran off screaming at the top of her lungs in what Piper could only describe to me as some really old and worn clothing, while looking 30 pounds lighter than she was the last time she'd seen her. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.